Thank you so much. Thank you for that great introduction and that great warmth from the people here from Salford. Thank you so much. So yes, my name is Claudia Webbe, and I'm standing for the National Executive of the Labour Party to ensure that Jeremy Corbyn has the team he needs to unite the party, to take on the Tories, and to ensure we win the next general election. We have no time to waste. The Tories are heaping misery on our communities, and it's only when we are united that we are stronger. We know what Jeremy stands for. We know who he is, don't we? Yeah. We know in Jeremy he has an unwavering dedication to fight the lives for the many and not just for the few. We know that in Jeremy we have someone who will stand up to austerity and stand up to public sector cuts. He will stand against privatisation and the demonisation and scapegoating of migrants. I've known Jeremy for a considerable amount of time, and I know Jeremy has dedicated his life to ensuring that there is no place for racism, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, bigotry, and abuse in any form. No maybes. Look what Jeremy has achieved in the short time that he's been leader. We've seen a massive boost and explosion in party membership, a 70% ratings approval amongst grassroots Labour members, government U-turns on tax credits, disability benefits and academy schools in England, by-election win after by-election win, starting with the election of Jim in Oldham, Western Ryton, and let's not forget Ogmore, the seat of Sheffield, Brightside and Hillsborough, and of course, recently in Taunton. Labour elected mayors in London, Bristol, Salford and Liverpool. The reaffiliation of unions like the Fire Brigade Union And yes, the nationalisation of our railways is now official party policy. Instead of setting their differences through the democratic processes, have not wanted to accept from day one the huge and overwhelming mandate that Jeremy achieved, have been engaged in plotting and planning felt coups and backstabbing and open disrespect and warfare. Well, you know what Jeremy has been doing? He's been getting on with the job. No time to waste. Jeremy is bending the rule book towards justice, a justice that we have long needed. His rallies have been packed. The message has been clear. He is speaking truth to power, demanding economic and social justice and an end to austerity, the change we need to see. Never again returning to the casino gambling ways of the big banks, ensuring the rich pay their fair share. That works only for the few and not the many. We must break down the power system that protects inequality, creates injustice and the widening gap between the rich and poor. We are right to be outraged by a government that caters to the demands of the super wealthy while failing to meet the needs of the many. When Jeremy won the Labour leadership with a huge, overwhelming mandate, this was not just a political wake-up, it was a political revolution. Because the changes our country so desperately needs can only happen when we wrestle our democracy from the corrupt grip of an unfair system. When the Tories are playing their games, our role is clearly not to sit and watch or engage in acts of disunity. Because when our neighbourhoods are crying out poverty and families are making choices between heating or eating and huge swathes of London becomes unaffordable for thousands and billions are cut from housing budgets across the country and children and young people have little to do in the evenings because their youth clubs are shut. Payments that many disabled people and carers have come to rely on is cut. Our role is never to be ashamed to stand up for those who are marginalised in our society. Ideological war on the poor, the working class, those who are disabled, those who rely on welfare, and on our unions. We have to unite to stop them. They have singled out the most deprived communities in this country for the harshest cuts. The Tories' housing and planning agenda is not about housing, but about social cleansing, something the Tories have been doing for years. This fight for decent, affordable housing, social rent housing, is one of the most important battles in a generation. This is 2016, yet people are working in Victorian-type conditions in a Victorian workhouse, subjected to 0 hours contract, unscrupulous bosses, insecure work conditions, to our students in debt and young people working for poverty wages, the casualisation of labour leading to insecure working arrangements for those on fixed term, people being sanctioned on welfare, to people being declared fit for work when they are terminally ill. We have to use our energy and passion to talk about the real abuse this Tory government is really delivering to our grassroots communities who are hurting. Let's turn our fire on the real enemy. We have no time to waste. The one powerful tool that we have is the power of unity, the power of solidarity. That's why I'm standing for the National Executive Committee of the Labour Party. Corbyn. We need to bring the forces of unity around Jeremy Corbyn. We need greater equality and justice, not less. The voice of ordinary party members must be heard. Radical reforms to deliver economic democracy must be supported. The hopes and optimism optimism of the many and tens of thousands of new members who have joined for change and a better society and future must not be left in vain. Jeremy's leadership campaign inspired a movement for change and a call to action. We'll do it again. Let's not forget. Let's not forget that Jeremy's entrance into the leadership race last year was on a clear anti-austerity platform, argued for a progressive alternative based on investments rather than cuts. Therefore, we can be stronger and more resolute in our fight against this unfairness and damage caused by the Tory government. We have no time to waste. Our communities are hurting. We need investment, growth and opportunities in equal measure. We need public ownership of the railways, yes, that puts passengers first and not profits and government intervention to a failing market, which is doing nothing else but distributing inequality. We need real action to tackle climate change and air pollution. We need more people. We need more people using sustainable transport. You know, together we can bring about the change we want to see. We cannot let the Tories get away with the pain they are inflicting. We know who Jeremy is, don't we? Yes. He is someone that says what he means and means what he says. But I end on this final message, and I say to those who want to engage with the media in campaigns of smear and demonisation,